What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. We are fresh off throwing away a game that was absolutely vital that we won. I can't tell you how angry I am about it. That sums us up this season of having opportunities to do something and just self-imploding. I don't know what happened. I know what happened. I mean, I'm not going to go through all the game, and I won't be here long because I'm not normally the first one to do match reactions, and I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. I just needed to come on, get it done, and that's it. But I couldn't wait tonight, particularly the fact that I wasn't able to go to the game. I could get called out now for work, so I'm going to have to cut off at any time. So I'm just going to ramble on about everything I'm absolutely raging about, to be honest, because their first goal, nobody now, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And we go through this on a regular basis, so I'm not going to stick on that point. But nobody can convince me now, and surely nobody genuinely thinks that Wes Foderingham is good enough for the Premier League. I think personally his attitude's been off, as well as not just his form. I think his attitude's been off in recent weeks. The fact that he blamed the players for the late goal the other night, when for me it's him in and amongst others. But today, where you're 10 yards away from a goalkeeper and it gets through his legs, it's embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. And I think Luton were on top at that stage, but certainly not dominating us. We were in the game, as we showed. We had more than enough to come back into it. We have to work our socks off to get back in front, and we do that. And then just ridiculous mistakes. And look, I get that it wasn't a corner, but if we're hanging our hopes on the ref making a correct decision on a corner, then we really are in bother, aren't we? It just shows me what a huge job Chris Wilder's got on his hands here. And I'm absolutely raging about it because we had it there. We've thrown it away. And the question I'm asking in the thumbnail, and I think it's a relevant question, and because I wanted to ask, I sort of wanted, if I'd have had more time, obviously it's been a very busy period for everybody, but if I'd have had more time, I'd have focused a bit more on this game in terms of, I think if we win this game today, survival is on. I think if we lose this game today, that could well be it. And I know it's early, and I know there's 18 games left to go, or however many there are. But, and if anybody can do it, Chrissy Wilder can do it. But there's going to be some big changes in January. And goalkeeper, for me, is top of the list. So what do you think? Are we done? Let's have a quick look at the table. Just having a scan now. Let me see if I can get it up quickly. We've played 19 now. So there's 19 games to go. And I'm going to say we're 7 points off safety. We're not, because that's to Everton, and they will get out of it like we all think. Forest got a good win today. Fair play to them. We don't like them, but they got a good win. You can't say any other. At Newcastle today, they're on 17 points. We're on 9. We're 8 points behind them. And due to our horrendous goal difference, thanks, Eki, then we're essentially can add another point to that. So we're 9 points behind Forest, who I think are the team to catch. Is that us? So 3 of those 19 games have to be wins to even pull on a par with them. That's if they're not going to pick up their own form. I'm never lost for words, am I? But let's be right. What can you say? Are we done? Gaz says yes. Fingers crossed we don't get Derby's record. We won't get Derby's record, mate. But it makes you think like that, doesn't it? That's us done. Jimmy says Trucking Blade needs to start building for next season and come back stronger. We are done, says Scott. Wes over this season has given so many points and goals away. I agree. I don't think no player is going to look back on this season and think, brilliant, it's been a standout performance for me. None of them. Maybe Andre Brooks when it's all said and done. But Wes has been really poor this year. My heart is broken with all this we're done stuff. Well, it's a question, Jez. If you want to chuck your opinion in, mate, you're more than welcome. Worst referee in this season ignoring VAR. I'm not sure where they ignored VAR, and that's not me being smart. I'm just I must have missed that if that's what's happened. How can you lose a game like that? It's unforgivable, says Luke. Absolutely right. Lee thinks we're done. Get Robinson and Wes out of this club. Useless, the pair of them. Robinson, I think, look, there's no bigger Robinson critic than me, as you know, in the past. I think he's done more than enough over this season to buy himself a little bit of time. I think you have to say that, really. Will's upset. I'm not surprised, mate. Me too. Yes, mate, it's over, says Wayne. It was already done, Jimmy, says Wolfgang. I'm not sure it was. I think I'm much more that way of thinking now, though. If we'd have won today, if the game had have ended on 70 minutes and we're 3 points away from safety, it's not done, is it? But now it feels like a bit of a sliding doors moment for me. We need to stop blaming refs. He had a poor game, but the fact we've thrown that away is shocking. Absolutely right, Joe. Robbo lost his head. Season's done. Chirac, welcome back. Is this the season of... before I read your comment, I'm going to ask, is this the season of forgiveness? And are you going to be welcome back? We were done transfer deadline day, probably even before that. Thanks, Prince. Hashtag protecting the club. Not a great start. Get rid of Wes, literally cancel his contract and bring a keeper in. Atrocious, says Bumper Car Blade. I know I'm an eternal optimist, says Ian, but there's still half a season to play. It's not over. I'd love to have even an ounce of that confidence, Ian. Can't see it now. Steaming at Wes is blue yonder. Both teams committed 13 fouls. We got 5 yellows. They got none. A goal from a corner that shouldn't have stood. It's just ridiculous. It is, and you can bemoan the decisions all you like, but and that's fair to do so because sometimes you don't get the rub of the green. But the players have got to take responsibility for that. I just have to say, I never wanted Wilder back. I've admitted that he's made us a bit less useless going forward, but our defenders are still panicking every time the ball comes in. Yeah, but I think that's a legacy thing personally, and I'm going to say that because I'm pro Wilder. I think you've either got to work ridiculously hard now to build up the confidence again, which looked like it's been coming in bits, or they're just not good enough for the level and they need replacing, which I think may well be on the cards, hopefully. I think that's it now. Wes out, says Andy. Another heartbreaker, says Anthony. I hate to say it, but I can't see a way out. Thoughts? Well, you're hearing them, mate. I'm afraid that's it for us, says Al. Got to get a keeper in ASAP. I completely agree. I think he will at the earliest opportunity. I don't think Wes starts against West Ham on 21st, is it? I don't think he starts that game. Wes is awful, never a Prem keeper. Wes needs to go. Really get him gone. Thanks, Jim. I'm glad we can do this together. I'm gutted. Yeah, and thanks, Russ. That's what we always do, innit? Come rain or shine, we'll come out and we'll vent either at each other or at the situation, and we'll try and get it out. I don't want it to become a witch hunt against players, and I'm conscious that my emotions are running away with me a little bit, but I genuinely feel like this game was a turning point in our season, and it was going to determine which way we went. So now, does it change our plans for January? Does it? You know, I think if there was a consideration for short-term options to come in to try and give us a firefighter's chance at survival, that's drifting. And surely you use the fact that we can turn over the squad and get younger players in who are maybe between Championship and Premier League level, not proven at Premier League, then get them in on long term. Players like Gus Hamer, players like, we're not going to have Cameron Archer, but Cameron Archer, Vinny Souza, I thought were outstanding today, I have to say, particularly first half. But McBurney scored a good goal, but I thought first half he were laboured. There's a few of them, to be honest. I thought George Baldock, I love George Baldock, he's my favourite player, but I don't know what's happened to him in the last couple of games. They've all got to be accountable for their own performances. Not just Wes, and that's what I was trying to say, sorry, that I don't want it to turn into a witch hunt. But I have to be honest about how I feel. And I'm not here to convince you all that Wes is crap and he needs to go. You're saying that yourselves because that's your opinion. Some may say, and some have responded to me on Twitter, that it's not just Wes's fault. I'm not saying it's just Wes's fault, but he's the constant. A Wes error leads to a goal every 2-3 games, and it costs us a lot of points. We didn't have a poor game. Whoever said that, we were the better team, and had the referee not made a mistake, we probably wouldn't have conceded. Sliding doors in it. It's shoulda, woulda, coulda. He did make a bad call on the corner, but why aren't we defending the corner better? And then why aren't we keeping our heads? Look, it's unlucky to come off Trusty and spin into the top corner. I'm not saying Wes should have got to it or anything like that. It's just really, really unlucky. But that goal gives them the impetus to go on the attack, and we've got to be better. And are the players not doing it or unable to do it? I could argue either way. That's it. Start planning now for the championship, says Mike. It's one step too far for most of these players. Very shoddy performance, says Mark. A total lack of effort first half. We're down, I'm afraid. Why did we sit so far off them first half? Crazy tactic. Much better second half, but threw it away. I don't think it worked, did it? The setup. And, you know, we're not here just to blow smoke up Chris's backside, and he won't want us to. I think it were quite a strange setup, really. I understood it in terms of going forward at the back against Luton, where we can get more players higher up the pitch. It just didn't work. And when it doesn't work, I think you have to try and change it. He certainly did that at half-time. You could argue you can change it sooner, but if you need a player on, it's harsh to sub somebody before half-time, particularly a young kid like Andrea Brooks, who I didn't think did an awful lot wrong, but he needed to come out to make the change, the tactical change. Priority in January, says Wolfgang. Keeper, big, strong striker in the Kiefer Moore, Carlton Morris mould. McBurney has been pretty good so far this season, but I think he's the only one we've got who can hold it up. Yes. Did you say McBurney's been pretty good so far? Yes, we're done for, just not good enough, says Hutch. Change its transfer window options, says Wayne. I agree. I think it probably does. For all that I'm concerned, we're done. No way back. Said at the start of the season, Wes wasn't good enough. I was ridiculed and laughed. Not by me, mate, you weren't. Not by me, you weren't. I had the League One Wes thrown at me, but I've been proven right. He's utter rubbish at this level. More pain, says JC. Get rid of Norwood, Wes, Lowe, Fleck, and get some fresh players in. I wouldn't be sorry to see any of them go. Any of them. We go down singing, ready to go again. Up the V? B, surely. They're next to each other on keyboard. That's defo it for us, says Scott. To be 6 points off Luton with them having a game in hand is just embarrassing. At 2-1 up, you shouldn't be then losing that game. Wes is a liability again. Keep up the good work, Jimmy. Thank you, pal. Fuming, says Dave. Me too, pal. Body has to go now, says Eamon. Down, mate. It's over. What's this about? Sorry for the most depressing stream on the internet, but it's just how we're feeling, isn't it? 3 points thrown away today. Fodringham never been a number one. The difference between that 20 minutes, that 20-minute window where we've thrown that game away, or half an hour we added time, whatever it ended up being, that's changed our season, hasn't it? Because there's a 6-point swing now between us and Luton, and we'd have been bang on the same points. It's just... Genuinely think Wes is down tools because he's been told he's been replaced in January. I completely agree with that. Completely agree. We're going down this season. We've no chance against City on Saturday. Yeah, that's very true. Go for Cooper in January? Absolutely. We get the 10 mil or however much for Archer back, so reinvest that in January already. Sousa was class today, says Joe. I agree. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I think we're done. We need to start planning for the championship. Wilder has to be the one to lead us forward. Absolutely, he does. No questions asked. Goal difference is going to get worse and worse, especially after Saturday. We have to write off the goal difference. There's no way we're clawing that back. The goal difference is gone. We're a point down instead of, you can wipe it out. It's a point difference that we're worse off. We won't get out at Man City, says Eamon. Very unlikely. Oh, be a Sheffield United thing to go and poo house our way to a draw, wouldn't it? But anyway, that's... Hey, Jimmy says, Kev, no words can explain that display. Why do we keep pressing the self-destruct button? No idea, mate. Absolutely devastated. I'm usually very positive, but that's 100% us down after that. Wes should never play again. He'll play again. Somebody was saying, I think it might have been Wayne. What are you, Wayne? That yes, but Jimmy, the Messiah, Sir Chris, keeps playing him, keeps picking him, sort of half blaming Wilder for picking him. I don't know if you're of the same opinion, but I think Wes is very poor at Premier League, or he's poor at Premier League level. I don't think that means Adam Davies is better than him. So I think Wes gets the City game, and that will probably be his last appearance for us, unless we haven't got anybody in for Gillingham in the cup, where you could play a misser anyway. We'll see. But I think he'll get to 101 appearances, Wes. That was his 100th today, and that'll be it. 2.99 XG to there, 0.69. The funny thing was, they were saying on commentary on stream I was listening to, it was between us going in front and them then turning it round to go in front, Luton didn't have a shot on goal. So they got 2 goals, and in that time period hadn't had a shot of their own. Ridiculous. It's every game with Wes. Where's the next point coming from? Well, we lost a must-win game. Looking virtually impossible now. Absolutely. Starting to really hate watching us now, says Boss. I don't hate watching us. I just don't think we're good enough for the level, and it's not a enjoyable watch, is it? Too many losers in this team. Look at the difference in approach when the 2 teams went ahead. 0 character. And that's what hurts the most, isn't it? That's what hurts. Hello, Jimmy. That's us done. Wes didn't help it. May have been unlucky with the own goals, but enough is enough. We're down. Forest Fan TV making an appearance. Nice to see him. They blocked me from their last stream, so we'll either try and ignore them, or if it carries on, we'll just get rid. Yeah, let's do that. Absolutely gutted first half. Looked like Eki was back. Unfortunately, we're down. Time to look at next season. Wesley's not up to it, and we all know it. We all knew it, says Ian. Yeah, that's right. Mathematically possible, but absolute gut punch that. Unless we're getting some really smart signings in January and going to run. I'm as optimistic as the next man, but it's a really long shot. Absolutely right. Score a goal and panic. That's right, Paul. That's what's happened, isn't it? Gutted. Ref was clueless, says John. Still need some brilliant signings now. Wes. When we bin him, we'll give him a deal. League One, I'd say. Absolutely serious on that. Loads of games left, but we're carrying half the players who are nowhere near the level. And Wilder, we do trust. Yes, absolutely. We were the better side, says Aim of Time. You can definitely. I think we were second half. Yeah, I think they probably edged it first half. First half was like a Hecky performance. Second half was much better, but not a Blades performance until 55th minute. And 2 own goals speaks volumes. Championship, here we come. Sean says, do our defenders panic because they don't have confidence in the keeper? Potentially, yeah. Still, they've got to take some responsibility, though. Rather earn points than pay for them. It's that to a Forest fan. Yeah. Deary me. Came off Slimani, by the way, not Trusty. No, it looked like Trusty. Oh, well, I may be wrong. I thought it was Trusty it came off. I might be wrong. How the hell do any of these charlatans get on our pitch? Bin them all off and use the under-23s for the rest of the season. Buying nobody in January saves putting any new signings through this. That's the spirit stick. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. To be fair, I think we lose that 2-0 under Eki. It doesn't matter if we lose 2-0 or 3-2, though, does it, pal? We've lost it. Hi, Jimmy. I'm absolutely gutted, says Rich. Hope we get prospects in planning for the Championship next season. Absolutely. Alessandro, Luton were dross. We gifted them all 3 lucky deflections. Absolutely not a corner for 2-2. Andrew says, sorry, Jimmy, your Archer is gone. Don't get upset. We all are. You've said it. We are venting. We have to let go somewhere, and it's fine here. Just don't take it personally. I don't take that personally, pal. I think you're right. He's gone. He's gone because it's part of the deal, isn't it? Which is a huge shame. I understand why we did it, but Mr. Bruh. Hey, bro. Not even January yet. Y'all can stay up, but we'll need a huge effort from the ownership and management. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think McBurney's been okay. Had bad games. This season's been one of our only forwards who looks like he's willing to put some effort in when we're losing. He's just not Prem level. I think he looks laboured, to be honest. Paul reckons Wes should be saving the second one too. Yeah, probably. Looked really slow, didn't he, down into the corner. That's us done, Jimmy, says Kristen. Better second half by us, but poor own goals to concede. Big rebuild needed, starting with the goalkeeper. Big chance now for us to shape the squad for the next few years. Completely agree. Completely agree. The grim reality is that we need to win half the remaining matches to have a sniff. If we've got 5 more wins, that will be as good as we can hope for. To be honest, it's done. Yeah, I've done that, pal. Don't worry about that. The corner kick changed the game. It did to a degree, but we're still 2-1 up when he awards the corner. So even though it was the wrong decision, you can't blame that whole thing. You've got to defend the corner. You've got to defend the corner. We had enough corners that we defended during the game. I understand what you're saying in terms of that was the turning point when they scored from the corner that shouldn't have been. But I don't think you can hang your hat on that and say, if the ref hadn't have given it, we'd have won the game. Maybe so, but it's the players that let us down. Absolute shambles. I'd start Adam Davis in goal for City. Kick Wes out of the club. He's cost us 5 points in the last 2 games. 3 goals, his fault. It's time to go. If we do think City is a free hit, which I hate that thought, Wilder clearly thought Villa was a free hit and we got something out of it. Maybe he does chuck Davis in. Maybe he does chuck Davis in against City. If he's going to get rid of Wes anyway, maybe that Wes has last appearance for us. It wouldn't surprise me, put it that way, even though I think Wes is a better keeper than Davis. Sick of watching United, watching the opposition play football. Luton were garbage and we still couldn't get a result. Pathetic. Another note, good luck for tomorrow. Thank you. Yeah, for those that aren't aware, I'm recording with Prince Abdullah tomorrow. Be an interesting conversation now. Scoring 4 goals at home and still losing. Very well, yeah. New keeper needed, was not up to scratch. Both goals not good enough. Absolutely. Kyle, no better under Wilder. Vulnerable at the back. Shocking. I disagree, obviously. But listen, that's up to you, mate. All we did was play it to McBurney. He kept getting fouled, so play it elsewhere. It's just common sense. Brooks looks quality, and so does Sousa. Build around them next season. Didn't rate Wes in the Championship. Me neither. In fact, I felt we were poor in the promotion season. We relied solely on Illiman. Absolutely right, pal. Completely agree with that. Why take Sousa and Hamer off when 2-1 up? Stop sitting back and go for it. Yeah, I'd have to have a look, to be honest, but I'm not saying you're wrong there. That was pure unlucky. Wes not good enough. Unfortunately, 2 own goals and a crap first half. Can only get better. Heads up, Blades. Dylan says, get cash in and that keeper from Plymouth. Signings for next season now, man. Do you know what? I would love that. Cash in from Derby and the Plymouth goalkeeper, Mike Cooper, who I think is injured at the minute. So if it's not Cooper, Victor Johansson, they are 2 great signings. I reckon we won't have to spend 10 million to get both of them in. And that's, great forward planning. Great forward planning. Chirac. Thanks, pal. This line going to get me mad ever again. We are what we are. It is what it is. All the best to you and your family, Jimmy, for 2024 and beyond. You too, pal. Welcome back. No trolling, please. Sorry for loads of comments, but why were we not in for players like Barkley or Townsend? Great question. Great question. Ross Barkley had been brilliant in our midfield. Davis will be worth the free eventually, in my opinion. I know you've said that. You've said that before. Rafi says, Blaster back, Fleck out. New keeper, new striker, do a Leicester next season. We're not going to do a Leicester. They've got a Premier League squad pretty much, haven't they, in the champ? We haven't. What a way to lose. Devastating. Season over. Plan for next season in the champ. Typical by us, always build ourselves to be ultimate letdown. Or what's it like to be a blade of roller coaster at times? I'm going to have to wrap it up, guys, because I'm not... it's one of them, innit? One of them tonight. We were brilliant between end of first half and going 2-1 up. Unlucky at OGs, but shouldn't concede 3 to Luton. Unlucky own goals, but shouldn't concede 3 to Luton. Want the season over now, to be honest. Going to miss Archer and a few other quality players that will go. No way out of it now, says Lee. But a bit of positivity. Clear the decks. Playing Saturday, Tuesday in the best league in Europe. Some atmosphere in the Championship, in the lane, and Chris Wilder, Alan Neil on the touchline. And Jake says, give Wilder a 5-year deal, look to build long-term and make the cuts and additions for a good promotion push. Absolutely right. Who's rudely trying to ring me at this time. Asula was like lightning. Lighting. I assume you meant lightning. Hey, Jimmy, absolutely gutted we didn't win. Our last promise be a good time if we did. Well, sorry about that, pal. We must have been the two worst keepers I've seen for distribution. Wes kept booting it to their players, and their players kept booting it out. Absolutely right. Hamill looked a bit off it again. Thought McAtee was class. I thought Hamill played all right, Tim, to be fair. I was surprised to see him taken off as well. Archer's the real player, but I'd rather when he goes try and get a creative player in his place. Look at one of the big 6 rejects like Sunderland did with Jack Clark. Jack Clark were, Tottenham, weren't they? They were at Leeds originally, weren't I think. Honestly, think Archer's been very hit and miss. Much better last 3 games, but previously was either scoring from 30 yards or standing still doing naught. Everton have some tough games coming up in Jan, Feb. It's too soon to say that's it. We won't catch Everton. No chance. No chance. Let's face it, who will sign for us in Jan with defo relegation on the CV there? No one. Archer going doesn't mean out, lads. Been poor most games, says Dylan. I just don't think we're playing to his strength. Listen, he's got to do better as well. I can't just blindly defend him, but I'm not. I think he's better higher up the pitch. 13 points dropped from winning positions this season says it all about this squad. Says it all. Can't blame Archer being up front on his own. No quality in the side at the side of him. Can you imagine a Brian Dean at the side of him? Oh God, brilliant! Just realised the Forest lot thought they meant Steve Cooper, not Mike Cooper. They really think the whole world revolves around him. I'm not interested in them lot tonight. You'll be able to ask the Prince about Wes and Wilder's done a fantastic job in a short amount of time. He has too many hard games with very little time on the training pitch. Happy New Year to you, pal. That's us down, says David. Get rid of Wes now. Get rid of Wes now. Play any other keeper. Let the other keeper in Jan. Just enjoy the rest of the season best we can. Great shout. I'm going to stop it there, lads and lasses. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm sorry that it's shorter than usual, but I've just jumped on early to vent. I'm sure Nick will be doing a post-match reaction now as well if you want to jump over there. But for me, that is it. That is us really up against it now. I may calm down a little bit, and once I get my head around, the situation we're now in, I just think that was such a huge missed opportunity, and the way it happened as well. You can't help but think, oh my God, what could have been? So yeah, thank you for joining me. I'm raging still. Usually it calms me down on these things, and maybe if we'd have been able to go a bit longer, it would have done. But try and enjoy your evening as best you can. I've just got to hope Prince Abdullah's calmed down by the time I speak to him tomorrow. So that'll be coming very soon to the Ramble. So if you're not already, please do like, comment, share, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss it when that big interview drops. Because I'm sure it'll be very interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. So for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the blades.